Hello, 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 hello. Crossing my fingers that it's through. I don't know what's going on. Remember, I've moved 30 minutes away to a completely different internet. I know that I had that happen in my old house where my internet froze. So people are watching this for the first time. We just tried to do a live Q&A and we got froze up and it didn't come back. So, I was even communicating with people in chat. So we're back now. So unfortunately, we got to start back from the beginning, and I hope that you guys are cool with that, and then stick with us. Crossing my fingers that we get through this. I still have the intention to answer your questions today, and we're not going to let the internet mess us up. No way are we going to let that happen. So thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. And so, what we were talking about before was feeling it real. Part of the motivation for me to do this was to talk with you after your meditation so that you would keep and hold on to the feeling of feeling it real. It's very important. The meditation is the beginning, it's the catalyst that takes you into something bigger. So, if you've just done the meditation, if you perhaps just done it, and then you found this live, I'm so glad that you found us right now because we want to take that feeling of the wish fulfilled and take it deeper. The thing is, you made contact when you were in that meditation with something real. When you go into meditation and you feel something real. And so I want to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to tell you, every single one of you, that no matter what your situation is right now, no matter where you're at, you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. You can be anything you want. There is no limits to what is possible for you. You are a being of unlimited power. You've temporarily chosen to enter into this limited body and life just so you could have the fun of exploring. And what you think are problems are things that gives your soul joy. And you, over this time, have been learning about your power, relearning about it, because you are a being of infinite power. You always have been. And one of the ways that you can gain power is by understanding the power of your feelings. That's what I want you to touch on, is the power of creating emotional and vibrational states. And one of the best way to do that is through feelings. When you feel into your wish fulfilled, when you find that feeling, even just a flicker of it, even just for a moment of it, you are touching the actual frequency of that reality you want to live in. This is a real place. This is a real version of you. And in that moment of genuine feeling, you were there, you were actually there. People talk about manifestation and they talk about things like that in a different way where they think they simply have to visualize. I want you to understand it's not some kind of trick, it's not a magic trick that you're doing. Some people treat it like it's this loophole in reality that if you say the right words or you visualize it in the right way, that things will magically appear out of thin air, like in I Dream of Jeannie. And I understand why people get frustrated with that framing because it reduces this extraordinary science of consciousness. This is what it is, down to a sort of cosmic vending machine. And it's so much deeper than that. And I was just talking about this. I don't want to repeat myself, but I want to go over the whole teaching so you don't miss it. So I was talking about Neville Goddard, and Neville Goddard is a big part of my channel. I've read almost every lecture that Neville Goddard live on the channel, and you have access to all of those. I still could do some more lectures, but we pretty much covered the whole bandwidth of lectures. I can't wait for new lectures to be discovered so that I can read them to you. And I can tell you something, that reading these lectures on a weekly basis really led me into a deeper understanding of this. As I read Neville's words from his mouth in these teachings. So Neville said that the imagination is the actual human body in its eternal form. He said consciousness is the only reality. And what he meant by that is something radical. He meant that the inner world, the world of feeling and assumption and imaginal experience, that place the is primary. The physical world is secondary. The outer world is just a shadow, a projection, a sort of out picturing of the inner state that you're living from. So when you go inside, when you touch the feeling of your best reality, You are touching the causal level of experience. That's what I want people to understand. That's why it's so important to master this skill. When Neville talks about feeling it real, he's talking about a very specific kind of feeling. He is talking about the feeling of already being in it. It's easy to sit down and try to visualize, to picture the house, the bank account, the relationship, the body, and that's fine. And that is one way to do it. The picture is just a picture. What activates the law, what actually sets the creative process in motion is the feeling that goes along with it. Most people live in a posture of waiting, waiting for circumstances so they can finally feel good, so they can finally feel free, so they can finally feel like their life is working. And what Neville always was pointing out, what this whole body of work points at, is that you have to flip that. You have to feel first. You have to become it first on the inside, and then the outside has no choice but to reorganize itself around what you're broadcasting. Your dominant assumption is running your life. I want to say that again. Your dominant assumption is running your life. And so he taught the law of assumption. If you carry an assumption that, for instance, one idea of this, if you say money is a struggle, that I have to work hard for the money, that it's hard to hold on to, that it's always seems to run out, that assumption is alive in the field every single day. You give it power, it becomes a repeating pattern, and the universe is beautifully perfect in delivering evidence of that assumption to you on a regular basis. Every experience that seems to confirm the struggle is the universe just reflecting back your assumption back to you. So the good news is that you can change your assumption and change your feeling, and you can change what you see in the outside world. And once you master this, once you really figure how this works, then everything changes. Neville called it the law of assumption. And the practice is exactly what it sounds like. You assume, you take on the posture, the inner feeling, the operative belief that what you want is already yours, that it's already done, that the version of you living your best reality already exists. You walk through your day from inside that assumption. This is this is where it gets practical, because I know some of you are always, when you listen to this, you're thinking, but I have real problems, real things that are going on in my life. I'm struggling to pay my bills, pay my rent. I don't know if I can pay my mortgage payment. I'm living out of my car. How can I assume that everything's fine when I'm struggling? That's exactly what I'm asking you to do, because the circumstances are a past creation. Everything that you're experiencing from your circumstances now are an outpicturing of a previous inner state. And if you keep reacting to those previous inner states, then you create a loop. You keep letting them define how you feel. You're just perpetuating the loop. You're confirming the old assumption with fresh emotion, and the universe keeps delivering more of the same. So we want you to break out of this loop. That's how you can get and have whatever you want, by choosing a new assumption, even when the outer world hasn't caught up yet. Especially then, that's the practice. That's where the real faith lives, holding your inner state. When the evidence around you suggests something different, that's what we're trying to do. Neville had this phrase that he uses, and then you hear others use on a regular basis: live from the end, live in the end. And that can be repeated like a sort of cliche, but it's, when you really, really understand this, it's the secret to everything. Live from the end, occupy the state of the wish fulfilled as if it's already happened. The end has occurred. You're living in the dream home. You have millions of dollars in the bank. You're free to do what you want. You have the love of your life. You're living the best life. You're manifesting the best reality. You move through your day like that. You speak the way that person speaks. You make decisions the way that person makes decisions. It's full embodiment, full inhabitation of the state. And it sounds simple, because most of us, even when we're doing our what we consider our manifestation practice, we're still doing it from a posture of wanting. We're reaching towards something that we believe is out there somewhere in the future. So when I talk about the future self, when I'm teaching that, I'm utilizing this teaching. The whole idea is to become and merge with the future self so that you can experience the feeling state of already having it in the present state. And that version of you lives in a timeline that's available to you that you can merge with because all of time exists at the same time as we are starting to learn as we shift into this new earth. Living from the end, you stop reaching and you start inhabiting, start being. You bring this into the power of feeling in this moment. What makes the feel it real so potent is that it's training your nervous system to inhabit that state. Every time that you go into meditation and you genuinely touch the feeling, even if it's for a moment, every time you let yourself feel the joy, the relief, the freedom, the expansion of your wish fulfilled, you're building a pathway, practicing the state until it becomes familiar. And as that state becomes familiar, it becomes your dominant frequency. And I want to talk about something that comes up a lot in questions I get. And I imagine some of you are sitting with this right now. What do you do when the gap feels enormous? When it feels like it's so enormous from where you're at now to where you want to be? First, I want you to honor it, acknowledge where you are. That's fine. You have to go from one side of the bridge to get to the other. You have to crawl before you can walk. And then you redirect. You bring your attention back to the state you're choosing. You reach for the best feeling available for you in this moment. Maybe you can't jump all the way to the full frequency. That's fine. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. Make it with gratitude for what's already working. Start with appreciation for the smallest thing in your life. From there, you build, you feel a feeling of expansion. You focus on, you let the inner state elevate. Even a small elevation in your emotional frequency is a new signal. If one reason that you join my activations and my channel is that maybe in one of those activations you felt that feeling, you had that joy, you had that sudden burst of excitement and inspiration flow through to you, and now you feel it, you know it's real, and you can capture it. The more we can capture that, the more I can help you to feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Then everything is possible. You let the feeling expand, you let the inner state elevate, and even a small elevation, it's going to change everything. The universe is extraordinary to reenacting what's in your emotional field. Um, I know that Abraham Hicks talks about this in like with the emotional guidance scale. The idea you don't have to leap from despair to joy in one jump. You can move incrementally. You reach for the thought that feels slightly better, and then slightly better than that. You keep reaching until you've climbed your way into a state that's open enough, elevated enough to begin genuinely feeling your best reality. And I want to revisit the idea of what your best reality actually means. What does that mean? Because I promised that at the outside of this in the thumbnail. What's your best reality? Your best reality is bigger than any single desire. Your best reality is a state of consciousness where you don't even have to create your future. Everything is so exciting. Just the excitement of the new things coming to you. You've taken all your power back. You've reclaimed your power as a being of infinite power. And you're flowing through your day where it's more wonderful than you could ever imagine. That's the stream, the flow that I want you to be in. That it's so much more than you imagined. It's so much better than you thought was going to be the best. It's a way of moving through the world. It's the experience of being fully alive, fully expressed, fully connected, where the things come to you with ease, where you're in the right place at the right time always, where your gifts are recognized, where love is present, where abundance is the air that you breathe. That's the frequency you're calibrating to. The specific desires are the forms that frequency takes in your physical experience. And when you're genuinely living from that frequency in the forms that follow abundantly, often in ways that surprise and delight you, this is why I always say, feel into the essence of what you want. That's why Neville says it. That's why Joseph Murphy says it. That's why all these teachers that I brought to you say it. I'm not teaching anything complicated. It's the freedom, it's the security, it's the joy, it's the connection. Finding that feeling directly, accessing it now in this moment through your imagination. That's everything. That's everything that I want for you. So after I wanted to mention one other thing with this. I really want to meet you and meet you in person and help you with this. If you're struggling with this or if you still have dreams, I want to help you achieve those. I know that you hear me talk about it a lot on my channel, but I believe in it strongly. I want to meet every single one of you that's in chat right now, everybody that finds this video. I want to help you. I want to bring my energy to the situation. And so, just as a reminder for people that don't know, we are gathering in Maui on May 14th through the 17th. And the thing I don't talk about is my friend Kyle Boyd of the Heart Coherence Collaborative negotiated a deal with the Westin Maui. This is on the beach. These are luxury rooms at like 66, 75% off the normal rate. It's a super cheap price that we booked. We still have rooms available. And you can join us. It's one of the most beautiful places on the beach. I'm going to be there for many days before and many days after. I'll probably see you there. It's gonna be an amazing vibration. It's a fulfillment of my dream, and being in that environment, it's already the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The sun on your face, the sound of the beach, being around people that are enlightened, and I have a special discount for the people watching this right now. You can find, I'll be posting it in the comments shortly. I believe I'll be able to do that in a second here. And I want you to know that I can get you like it's like $100 off the early bird price that we've been offering. So, and I want to make sure that people know that they have this great deal. I know that it's easy right now, and you say, "Oh, look at what's happening in the world." What's happening in the world is so frightful, so scary for me that I don't think I could go travel. I had somebody say that to me, like, Brian, I don't think it's a good idea for me to travel, and that's just simply not true. It's simply not the case. That right now, if you, are in this bubble of reality with this frequency and opening up to this love and this possibility, when you're entering into the vibration of your highest self, into your future self, all that stuff that's happening in the world doesn't matter. That stuff's always been happening in the world. In this reality, everything's working out, and we want with each of you, which are seeds being planted in the new earth, to spread that seed so that people know and we can change the world. We can do the things to stop what's happening in the world. And we're going to be doing deep activation work. It's an expansion of what I've been teaching with the future self. We do a bliss body meditation, which takes light through every part of your body. You meet your highest self. We have a quantum jump meditation. You shift into your future self. And we have Paul Selig that's going to be there on Saturday channeling the guides for a full hour. If you know Paul's work, I've interviewed him several times. He's amazing, but to see him live where he does these attunements with the audience, he's going to bring us into the upper room. I mean, that's where he's from. He's from Maui. That's why we asked him to join us. And it's a small group. It's going to feel like a retreat, and I want to see you there. And you can get there's the tickets in the description, and it's going to be also in the comments very shortly. And so I want to see you there. I want to have the opportunity. So I know that people um put that out there that they can't make it. And I want to make sure that you all know that you can make it, that it is possible. And I want to see you there because it's going to be one of the most amazing experience. Kyle is there. And what I've experienced so far with New Jersey and in Los Angeles, New Jersey was an expansion of Los Angeles. And each time we're doing these events, on the last day of the event, when I'm calling upon these higher energies to move through my heart into the audience and everybody's sharing their energy, what's happening in the group as a group coherence sort of effect. It's we're walking away with this completely raised to a different level. I never have experienced anything like this in any individual meditation to be able to participate in these group effects. And we're going to have 4 days to do it. We have one of the funnest things is we do karaoke and everybody joins us. I know I talk about it a lot on my channel, but I don't have any other place. I got to share it with you guys. And I hope that you can join me. I would love it. It would be amazing if you could join us. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for the link that you can find in the description now. That's the Eventbrite link on Eventbrite with the discount that I've cut just for you guys. And then the rooms are way cheaper than what you would be able to normally get. So what I want you to focus on before we get to this Q&A is just your best reality is real. It's a real place. It exists right now, fully formed, fully alive in the field of infinite possibility. I see it for you. I want to bring you to it. There's an energy for it. And I want you to show you how to do it so that you can let other people do it. And the whole planet can reach its best possible timeline. Each one of us are awakening gods with this special power and capability of shifting into our future self. And I want you to do that. Now is the time for you to actually claim it, carry it forward. The universe is ready for this. It's ready for the shift. Now is the time. I hope that you hear what I'm saying because it's so important to me. I want to bring the love. I want you to bring the love to the world. I want to help you to do that. I want us to all be hanging out. So I want to answer any questions that you have. If you did the meditation with me, if you're going to do it in the future, that's fine. If you have any questions, my goal is to answer your questions for wherever you're at on your journey. I'm going to go through the chat to get the questions. So if you've put a question in chat, I'll start with the first one. Sumit says, Brian, I work in sales. What about the huge amount of work and the long hours we have to put in? When the pressure hits, it becomes hard to live with that assumption. So, Sumit, I know what you feel. I've been there. I've been in sales. I've been in phone sales. I've worked in a corporate shop where essentially I was working almost 18 hours a day. This is back when we didn't even have hourly restrictions, like when there was less regulation, and and it creates your reality. You're put in an environment. You can make money in these environments, but the reflection that everybody is giving you is that it's you have to grind, that you have to work hard for your money, and so it sort of seeps in. Now, this may be a springboard to something better. It gives you the resources to do something better. I want you to continually remind yourself that money is easy for me, that money is simple, that I make money when I sleep. I make money, I what I found is reminding myself, just saying, I make money while I sleep and while I play, while I'm with my friends, when I'm having fun in off time. I started saying that even when it wasn't true. I started seeing the feeling of money just coming to me for no reason. And read books like the 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. It's a shift in mentality. It's a way of changing your mindset around what money means and understanding how it can come to you. We have an assumption that money comes to us through the grind, through the struggle, and then that's how it reflects back to us. And that's fine. You can make some good money doing that. Sometimes it feels like you have no other options, but know that there are infinite options. And it just begins with the mindset shift. It's to say, even though I'm in this grind right now, money is easy for me. Money comes to me easily. New opportunities come to me all the time. Large sums of money come to me easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis in the best interest of all that I get to keep, give, spend, invest, and circulate joyfully. And I emphasize make it from multiple sources. So if you have a way, any ideas that come to you, open yourself up to these ideas. It's a vortex of possibilities that start opening up to you. And temporarily, you might have to work in that job. Temporarily, you might be successful. You may be able to also find a way to do that job. This is what I found when I shifted into that mindset. I was able to do that same job from home, and I was able to kick ass with it. And I was able to do it so I could only work 3 or 4 hours a day on it instead of the full period of time. Once you shift and say, it's possible for me to find a way to make money doing this, what I'm doing now, but make it easier, you will find it because you will always find what you look for. So open up to that. All right. What else do we got? Northwest Wind says, what's the best way to reality shift to fictional worlds? For fun, of course. I've been fascinated by that and want to know your thoughts. So I have a reality shift meditation that is designed around fantasy worlds. And what I found this because I started exploring with going into lucid dreaming states and programming my lucid dream states into entering vivid realities. And then I started playing with the time, telling myself for every minute it's an hour in this reality. So if I spend 8 hours, it would be like a lifetime within that reality. And I would have these very vivid, in-depth lucid dreams in fantasy worlds that were real. I could not compare to normal worlds. And it's a good practice. And it's very real when you're inhabiting it. You can have relationships and raise families and experience adventures in these fantasy worlds. The imagination is amazing. And in lucid dreaming, you can do it. And so you can program your lucid dreams to extend time And so I recommend making that and say some commands before you go to sleep. Command that in your lucid dreams that time is extended so that you can experience vivid fantasy worlds. Now, you may find that you don't like this, that you want to come back to the world. And at any point in time, you have the ability to do that because you are a being of infinite power. All right, what else do we got? Brian, let's see. Sumi. I'm going to scroll up and just in case I didn't miss anything. All right. All right, what other questions do we have? Anya says, I'm a 35-year-old female. I was laid off 6 months later. The guy I was about to marry in 2 months cheated on me. 9 months later, my dad committed suicide. I'm lost. So, Anya, first of all, I call upon everybody in the group in this moment to send to Anya light. Just send light from your heart. Feel it coming up through the ground from the top of the universe, flowing into your heart, sending it to Anya. So, Anya, I want you to to move back to your power, to declare, I am the presence and power of God in this moment. And then understand it's difficult right now, but you will find a way at some point to appreciate the experiences that you've had on a soul level, on a spiritual level. I know that sounds shocking, and I'm sorry for what you've been through, but I want you to know that all of it you can look at it and say, I created this. I created this in this hologram, in the simulation. It's not real. I want you to take your power back from it. I want you to move on from it. And we honor those that we've lost and we move forward in a state of love and not letting what happened in the past become a pattern where it feels like every 6 months something bad is happening. That it's a releasing, a letting go of those old patterns and walking into a new pattern. And I call upon you and everybody in the group to see that for Anya. All right. Spirit Lake Hermitage says, I am 70, have been working all this for 35 years with great results. That's wonderful. And let's look at people like Spirit Lake Hermitage because, when we see other people that have been successful at what they do, it helps us to believe that what we can do works, and it works. I have people around me. I've seen so many amazing people that have utilized what we're teaching, and it changes your life. Alf Pacino, prayers for you. Prayers for our dear friend David Hibbs and his daughter Jember. She's very worried about him as he's her only family. So let's put prayers out, healing and energy for our friend David. All right, let's see what else we got. Sending light to Anya. Denise says, do I have dates for Austin? Yes, I do. And we're about to announce that very shortly. I'm super excited. We're going to be at the Hyatt Regency in Austin, Texas for a 3-day event that's going to be absolutely magnificent. And I believe that's going to be in September. Let me make sure I got it right. It's going to be in September 18th through the 20th at the Hyatt Regency, and we're going to put out a link for that, and that will be available. And I hope all my Austin peeps can join us. We started looking at the most requests, and people in Texas and in Austin were one of the largest groups that follow the Reality Revolution. And so we also will have an event in Anaheim in July. We're going to have an event in Austin in September. We're going to hold an event in Sedona in November, and we are looking at amazing excursions to Cancun and Punta Cana, depending on how many people come to the Maui event, because we want to do those sort of like luxurious resort journeys with everybody so we can be in a state of abundance at the place that we're at. We just got back from New Jersey and it was cold and wintry there, and it was still wonderful. We changed the environment there. It was wonderful. So however it is, but yes, that's the dates for Austin. All right. What else? Alicia Abba says, I did the LA event and definitely propels you to the next level. Alicia, it was so nice to meet you at the LA event. Thank you so much for coming. And I thank you so much. And these events have been so exciting. I think that we as a group, the people that have been following me for all these years, and also what's really interesting, I had a lot of people showing up to the event in New Jersey and in LA that had just heard about me. People are constantly joining the reality revolution. That's why I'm saying welcome to the reality revolution every single episode, because new people are joining all the time, and that's what I'm so excited about. When people come to these events, and what I think is happening is we're a soul family, all of us, everybody in chat right now. everybody that comes to my episodes on a daily basis, we're all part of the same family. You recognize what I'm teaching, and you taught me this in some other life. We're all part of one massive, wonderful, powerful a group of light that comes here. We're the Avengers here to shift the earth. So many amazing people in this group. And so, if we can meet in rooms together, if we can come together in situations like this chat, if we can come together as a group like we're interacting now, we can change the world. This is what I believe strongly. Just you being here with me in this, sharing my energy, I'm sending it out to you, us sharing and using our energy, we can change the world. So, all right, what others? What are there? Let me see who else we got. Um, User NF79 says, Brian, my older sister, almost 49, has actively worked against me since our mom passed 29 years ago. I feel exhausted by her constant attacks. I have nothing. Please help. I want my own. All right, user NF79. What I want you to do is I want you to release, you've given your power to your older sister. And so I want you to realize that you created your older sister. She's just a character that you created. Everything is just a hologram that you created. You're a being of infinite power and you created your older sister. It's not real. And you don't need to interact with your older sister if you don't want to. You can completely ignore her. You don't have to talk to her. And you can change the interactions. You have the ability to change it as if there is no problem. If you hold your older sister in resentment for any reason, it pulls you away from your prosperity. You need to realize that she is you on some level, created by you and is you, is a being of you and is a reflection of you. And so, if you can release the reactions and the responses and the frustration that you've experienced in the past, if you can release that energetic quality that comes up, you may find that it changes. Know that in this moment, you are a being of infinite power. Find appreciation. And it's hard, but I want you to find somewhere, some point where you appreciate the way your sister has acted. And I want you to acknowledge that it's not real and take your power back. Feel the power of all those times you worried about her, all the times you thought about her. Just bring it back. Cut the cord, remove the connection, remove the energy of it. Don't give her any more of your power, and things will change. It will stop recreating itself as a pattern. You'll reach a point where you don't even think about your sister. Uh, Chantel August says, Brian, I live with my stepfather who abused me. I know is lowering my frequency. I'm also owner. Do I just leave? If you're living with somebody that abused you, I'm so incredibly sorry for what you went through. And I know there are no proper words and there's no way, there's no solution for what you've been through. It's a trauma. You can reprogram this trauma. One way you can do that is remove those abusers from our life. And if you have the ability to leave that situation, then I would recommend that you do. I don't know all the dynamics and all the different possibilities of it, but it's a question that you should ask yourself. If you have the ability to leave, then why haven't you? And I want you to go inside and evaluate what your responses are to that. Open up to releasing, letting go those energies, and it maybe can improve for you. Hey, it's always good to see you, Osman, Gay, Alf Pacino, Francisca. It's good to see you, Luis. Thank you so much, Luis, for always joining and helping at school. By the way, you can join the Reality Revolution tribe where we meet like this in live coaching settings for 3 hours a week. You can find us at school.com, SKOOL.com/reality revolution. I would love to see you there. We have so much cool stuff, exclusive content and masterminds and networking sessions available to you in that group. I'm super proud of what we've created there. Um, Mr. Jeanette's Mir Jeanette said, things after burnout. Reality Revolution is great. So if you can manifest the small things, you can manifest the large things. There is no difference between the small and the large things. You have to ask yourself why you are evaluating the size of your manifestation. Why is it important? And so maybe you've placed a block on the amount of change and transformation that you're opening yourself up to. And so what I want you to do is I want you to release those limitations, to dissolve those limitations that you've created, and go and listen to this meditation that we just did. Feel it real. Feel the reality of it. Assume it. Enter the vibration of it. Feel it as real as you possibly can. And if you don't feel it real, start asking yourself, what does it feel like? How can I feel like that? What is that life like? Open yourself up to the possibilities of that, and you'll start to see it change into those larger manifestations. There is no difference in manifesting the creation of a new solar system and to manifesting the creation of a new job. They're all things that you've done and that are available to you. Let's see, what else do we got? Francisca says everything we see in others is really us. Look at any positive or good and focus on that. Very well said. It's hard sometimes when we acknowledge that there's this other version of us, but when we see people acting in a certain way, it's hard to acknowledge that that is in myself. But it's a big focal point. If you can recognize that, then you can change it. Um, Dulce Fernandez says, Brian, I'm unemployed for over 2 years now. I'm financially depleted. I need to get back to work soon, but I don't know how my applications keep. Am I back? Am I back now? Wait, am I back? All right. Well, I just refreshed the browser. So I guess refreshing the browser works. Who would have thought? So I refreshed the browser. We'll cross our fingers and we'll see if that sticks. I will answer questions. I know we had some people drop out, but I'm still here. So you did it. You manifested it. So I want to thank you guys for sticking with me today. I'm in a different internet, and I have no explanation why I have buffering issues. I'm convinced, especially when I do stuff with the group, we never have any buffering issues like this when I do school. Uh, but I'm convinced that my energy interacts with the Wi-Fi. Who knows? Who knows what that is? So, so thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. So yeah, I'm still here to answer any other questions. Let's see. Devin says, "Why are you against Neville Goddard manifestation content that people put out and say it's fake and not to follow them? It helps and is positive. Why not? I do follow. Eventually, get your book. Great work. I'm not against Neville Goddard content, and I would never be against Neville Goddard content. I've only made one video, and that was people were making Neville Goddard videos, claiming it's Neville Goddard, claiming that it's his voice, that were fake, that saying things that Neville Goddard would never say, that contradicted with Neville Goddard. People that teach about Neville Goddard that are teaching what he taught. There's some great people that I follow on a regular basis that are all over YouTube. My only thing was, if you're going to do the Neville Goddard content that is fake, then say, hey, this is maybe what I think Neville Goddard would have said. But don't try to represent it as there's a channel that I saw that was like Neville Goddard official, and they were trying to claim that Neville Goddard had taught or said these things, and it's just simply not true. So my point was, teach Neville Goddard, but don't teach things that Neville wouldn't teach and then claim it's Neville. They would use his voice in AI, using AI, and so Neville Goddard's a very specific thing. I can tell when they're teaching Neville Goddard, and it's not something that he would say. Neville Goddard would never talk about chakras. Neville Goddard never talked about chakras. And so when I hear suddenly Neville Goddard talking about yoga positions and chakras, well, maybe you should say, hey, it's not Neville, but I'm using Neville's voice, and this is what I think he would say about chakras, or something like that. I'm asking for authenticity, not I would assume that you would demand the same of me, that if I was using anything that was Neville, that it was authentic, that you were getting exactly what you had asked for when you clicked on the video. That's all. So let me see what else we got. Somebody said, Neville said, don't spend too much time on Twitter. Yeah, Neville wasn't around during Twitter, but maybe he would have said that. He would have said something similar to that for sure. And one thing he always said was that if you get caught up in the news that it creates, he had some stories that he would give where people would get obsessed with the news, and then that obsession actually creates their reality. It's sort of the energy they get sucked into. Um, Brian, this is the question you froze at. I've been unemployed for over 2 years. So let's go back to the question that I got froze on. And with that unemployment, I want you to assume what that employment means. I want especially when I also encounter somebody that's been unemployed for 2 years, there may be a pattern within you that is resisting employment. Once you get used to unemployment, even if it's a struggle and it's scary, there's some part of you that says, "I'd rather wake up at this time every day. I'd rather not have a boss that does this. I enjoy being unemployed." That you find some comfortable way of living in the unemployment, so you need to question that. Open yourself up to the possibility of working and living in a different life. Assume those realities, understand what that means, accept these new patterns, open yourself up to new possibilities. That's what I want you to do, is break the pattern. I want you to know that you have some particular talent or skill or ability that you will be vastly rich at, prosperous at. Everybody in this group, no matter what you're doing, there's something else you can do that can make massive amounts of money for you. I believe in you. I know it's true. I want you to assume it, to take that 100%. So Dulcie, just keep working on it. Don't give up on it, and live in the reality that you have a job, that money's coming in on a regular basis, and you feel satisfied and abundant. Um, Nat Techno Girl Nelly Vox says, Brian, I feel so much laziness and procrastinate to the extreme. My house is extremely messy, but I would love to become a tidy person, but I can't find the motivation and discipline to do it. It's interesting. I've been in all stages of, I've been in the state of messy, I've been in the state of lazy, and I've been in the opposite states. And I can tell you, if you can flip the switch, if you can switch into the state where you're no longer procrastinating, where you're no longer lazy, then it will influence and improve your life. Part of it is a seeking for your purpose, a feeling that you don't belong, a feeling that you don't quite know what you want to do. I understand that. Also, very intelligent people can be procrastinators. Very intelligent people can be lazy. It may be a part of your journey. All right. So, as long as that laziness is not because maybe you're smoking too much or doing something else, as long as that laziness is just a discomfort with your current reality, then flow with it. Open yourself up to it. Find something that gives you joy. Just find something that gives you joy. Find something that you did when you were younger that gave you joy, that you wouldn't avoid. Find something that really lights you up. And that's the thing that will change it for you. Because, yeah, if I was doing a job right now I didn't want to do, I would be lazy too. I would be procrastinating because part of my soul just can't do it. I want to commit to something I love and do. And that's the big discovery for me. Once I found something that I'm passionate about, why would I go on Saturday at 3 o'clock and just talk to a camera? Why would I do that? Because I really get some joy out of this, knowing that I can reach out and touch and connect with other people around the world in this moment. It's such an exciting thing. Even the 141 that are sitting right now, and maybe a couple other people that click on this later, that's exciting to me. Maybe there's something similar to that that could light you up. I want you to find that and know that you can have and do anything that you want. Anything is possible for you. I want you to open up to that. I want you to believe me that it's available to you. I want you to just try to experiment with what I'm showing you and live in as viscerally as you can in the end state of your wish to be fulfilled, and you'll find that that motivates you greatly when you live in it and experience it as vividly as you can, something that would light you up, something that would give you joy. Then you will find yourself moving beyond procrastination, finding yourself moving beyond that into inspiration. When I had a near death experience, when I was shot at and should have died, when I woke that next day, I realized I'd wasted a lot of my life. I look back on all those times that I was lazy and all those times that I had procrastinated, and I knew that I have a second chance now. And if you could have that perspective and know that that although you're an infinite eternal being, that this life is short, and so at any moment anything can happen. I have that part as a part of me, knowing that I have this opportunity in this now moment right now to connect with you. I want you to find that somehow, some way, you're here for some special reason, something that you can do and only you can do. And I want you to open up to that. There's something that you can accomplish. It might be that you could become so successful at what you do. You might live the most amazing, luxurious life. You might make money so easily that other people will look at you as an example of what's possible and available to them. It could be any number of things. I want you to open up to that. All right. So Let's see what else we got. The silver is in orbit. I build sentient. Okay. Hi Brian. Question: how do you ignore 3D best way? I've passed my practice exams, but I'm worried about not passing the next one. Gokuha, don't worry about anything you have no control over. You haven't taken the exam, and there's no need for you to worry about it. As long as you prepare and study, you will pass. Take that worry and push that energy towards your preparation time for the exam and feel into a sense of fulfillment that you now know that you can experience. I know that you've come on and asked questions in all my lives, so it's always good to see you go Kuha. And I believe in you. I believe that you want this strongly enough. You've said you passed your exams. I know you're worried about future ones, but don't waste your time on things you have no control over. Control what you can, focus on what you can, and live in the end knowing that it is done. All right, let's see. I love Al Pacino, how I do overload the Wi-Fi. That's so true. Yes, Sophia's mentioned they didn't they do that with Carl Jung? Yes, they made videos with Carl Jung saying stuff he didn't say. They've done it with a bunch of people. I've seen it done with Alan Watts. I've seen it done with Joseph Murphy. Some people are just making stuff up because they want to get views on YouTube. And my thing is, let's just be authentic. There's something that you have within you that you can teach, and if you want to teach those other authors, just read what they taught and discuss it afterwards. Bring your own wisdom to it. That's what I want. Carl Jung said to delete Facebook. That yeah, that he might have if he had been around at the time. What else do we have? Hey, Benny Arse, that's good. What is one small mindset shift I can create now? The one small mindset shift that you can create now is that it's easy. I want you to assume that what we're doing is easy, that it's simple, that it's not hard. I don't want you to embrace any ideas that it's going to be difficult or struggle in any way. I want you to open up to the fact that this is easy. I want you to embrace that. I want you to look at all the times that it was easy for you. I want you to open up to those feelings, that vibration, that frequency, because that's the mindset shift. A lot of people are successful at this, but they make it hard. I'm still guilty of making it hard. And when I flow into that easy path, that's where it's the funnest. That's where it's things come up. Know that the easiest path is going to be the one that's going to be the most successful for you. And as you manifest, know that new things, be on the lookout for what is easy. Look for what's easy, and it will come to you. I promise. Let's see. Retro Doomsday. I'm making waves. My chatbot design is a synchronicity collaborator that channels my own immortal blueprint and extends all through time. That sounds beautiful. I can't wait to see that. Hello, Juan. I am so happy that you've been watching me for all this time since COVID. Juan Solis, you are a brother. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I agree. Pink Floyd knew about frequency. S. Redican says Pink Floyd knew about frequency for sure. Yes, they did. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. Amanda says her legs ache from walking everywhere. I feel that. I feel that. Daughter of Abraham, I see you in beautiful new house. Yes, yes, yes. Gratitude is definitely the curse breaker. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to scroll up and see if I missed any questions. If I did miss any questions, I'm so sorry. Amalia says, are you able to remove ads from the lives, Brian? They interrupt what you're saying and then you miss some words. I'm not able to do that. That's how they set up the lives. When I click on it, it flashes to ads in the middle of it. So I appreciate you putting up with those ads. Hopefully it's not for too long. You can click skip after a couple of seconds. Let's see what else we got. Other question. Did I miss? Thank you so much, Brian, for your answer. We'll go on from there and do the meditation again. Yes, be sure to do the Feel It Real meditation. That's what we're talking about today. Amanda says, I want your opinion on the best way to manifest a new car. This is my favorite thing to manifest because it's so easy. It's such a simple thing. What I want you to do first is I want you to research the car you want to manifest. I want you to see the interior of it. I want you to find out the kind of seats that are available. I want you to watch YouTube videos, and they're generally available, of what it's like to drive on the inside, what the sound is, how to interact with the screen. And then I want you to go to the dealership, even if you can't qualify for it, even if it's outside the bounds of possibility, you act like you can, and you ask to take a test drive. Test drive it. When you're driving it, you feel like it's yours in that little drive. Maybe it's just down the street and back. I want you to carry that with you when you go home. The feeling of putting your hands on the steering wheel, what this sounds like, what the dimensions are for the car, what it's like to look out of it, and you will have that car. If you continue to hold yourself in that image, manifesting a car is one of the easiest things to manifest. It will come to you some way, shape, or form. And I've had people manifest luxury cars they could never have they could never have imagined. I've had people manifest Maseratis and Lamborghinis. Uh, if that you focus on it, really live in it, get the feeling of it, it will come to you. Now, some people will have the experience where they're given a chance to ride in the car because the universe loves to play those kind of games. I want you to feel the feeling of ownership with it. When you're driving it, it's mine. I want you to have that feeling of, it's my car. That's what I want you to focus on. All right. This is what the voice looks like, Whitney. I do have many interviews on my channel. I would hope that you could have watched some of those interviews. I have shown my face before. Um, yes, Sophia, your grandfather said, "Take it easy." That's right. Take it easy. That song is the key word I want everybody to take from. Take it easy. Baked Cake 93 says, brain inflammation, executive dysfunction. It may not be simply you being lazy. So, first of all, don't feel too bad. It could be COVID. There's always a possibility that there's something that's causing somebody to be lazy and those things. But I want everyone to embrace the idea now that you can shift your body through focusing on the light, that you can experience a true healing no matter what you're going through. If you've been exposed to COVID or anything, that you have the power by calling in the light and running it through your body and it holding on to the feeling of it to heal, that we are infinite beings and that we can live forever if we truly embrace this power. And I've seen it enough times in meditations where we do healing meditations. And so, yes, while it's possible there is some scientific explanation for your laziness, know that you can also change that. You have the ability to shift that. All right, what else do we got here? Hey, Dale asks, "Hey, it's always good to see you, Dale." And Dale's been around on following the channel forever. So love you, Dale. Hey, Brian, have you noticed how much thinner the veil is and how much your guides are always steering the boat? It's so true right now. The veil's never been more thinner. I wish I could play music on YouTube. I have to figure out a way to do that because I've written some songs about that lately. But I really do feel like that the veil is right there and we're on the cusp. And every day it gets thinner. Every day it's getting thinner, no doubt about it. Let's see. Sophia, beloved brother Brian Scott. Oh yeah. Let me. Am I missing something here? What about healing chronic health conditions, Amalia? So I believe that you can heal chronic health conditions, and it may not just be a change in your body that suddenly manifests. It could be that you manifest solutions that come to you from the outside. It could be that somebody creates a new prescription drug or a new treatment through a doctor or some new thing. When you are manifesting healing, the whole world comes to your aid. So if you have chronic conditions, accept at least at a bit minimum that it can be healed, that there is a solution to this, that the human body is infinite and eternal, and that there is infinite ways for you to heal. Don't accept it as an absolute, that there is no way to overcome it, that it's chronic. The word chronic is no longer. Chronic assumes that it cannot be healed. You assume that there is some path or way for you to heal, and you focus on that, and it's coming to you. And embrace that. And then when you get a chance, I want you to try my bliss body meditation. All right. Sophia says, instead of hi, goodbye, Grandpa Michael would say, take it easy. Yes, yes. I love that. Um, Alona So Fly, what are the signs that your life is changing for the better, that your manifestations and wishes are about to happen? A lot of times it's a shift in feeling. I feel it in my heart and solar plexus. Sometimes you can feel it in your stomach. It can be the colors of the world around you, the energy of it. the vibrancy of it, the momentum of it. You can start to notice these little changes in the way that people interact about you, the way the light starts to shape what you see, the colors become more vivid. There's an overall sensation, a feeling of warmth that clicks in when you're right before you're about to manifest. You will know it when it happens. Keep an eye out and look for it. Let's see, what else do I got? Am I missing any more? Can you welcome the Vesto O's to the reality revolution and thank the architect Roman for bringing her into a reality? Welcome Vesta Os and thank you Roman architect Roman for bringing her into reality. Um, yes, the bliss body. You guys are mentioning the bliss body, and so now we have done bliss body live. We've now done it twice. First time we did it in Los Angeles, and we caused an earthquake. And the second time was so profound. I really felt like I understood the intelligence of the universe as I started to do that meditation, as I take you through each and every aspect of the body that you can imagine, guiding the light slowly through it like you're undergoing a deep massage at the spa, and focusing on cosmic light, earth light, fourth density light, pulling it together, alchemizing it, moving it through every factor of your being. It's such a profound experience to be a part of. It's one of my favorite things to do the bliss body and to feel people's response to it. And I want to do it for everyone. I want everybody to experience. I want the world to be healed. I do. I do. I do. How can I Brian Milo says, "How can I heal S? I don't know what that is, but anything that you want to heal, you can call upon your own divine power, see it healed, bring light to it, breathe into it, and know that it is healed." All right. It looks to me like you guys don't have too many more questions. If I missed any questions, I'm sorry. I want you guys to go out and have the most amazing and wonderful and incredible Saturday. I'm sorry for any technical malfunctions, but I have a chance to say goodbye before it glitches on us. So I want to thank you for joining me on this amazing journey. And once again, remind you that I have special price for tickets that you can get to the Maui event that are $100, almost $100 less than what we were selling uh, the early bird pricing. It's in the Eventbrite ticket that you have in the description. So keep an eye out for that. You can click on that, and we have discounted rooms that are super discounted. This is on the beach. It's glorious. It's incredible. I want to share this experience. I want you to live in that feeling of the wish fulfilled. And you can always join the tribe at school.com/reality revolution. You can check out my art at newearth.art at www.newearth.art. And as always, you can find all episodes of the Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome, everyone. Love you, love you, love you. Welcome to the Reality Revolution, and may the force be with you always.